Man them pray, man them pray, man them pray. Me not see success today. Me not stand for it.
Inja Yam,
Me not stand for it.
Man, them pray, them pray, them pray. Me not see success today, but me not stand for it. Me not stand for it.
Let's do it like this.
Trying to find out who you are, because I don't think a lot of people kind of knew who you were before the single. A lot of people were just like, okay, who's this new kid? Quest is featured on the song. He brought out Flava out of nowhere. I remember the first time I played it, I was like, Fumbuge Flava for him to be on this feature.
That time he was really writing and trying to get back into the game. I think that's more. I think that's actually why I actually featured him, because he was my friend's brother, so
yes,
kind of like a caught man lamb. So I used to see him like on the regular. Always see him going back to the studio, I'm trying to come back, all that stuff, you know. So when I got the opportunity to, I called him up and he didn't mind, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't you feel like, I hit the jackpot? I've got a legend on my track. I get your ass.
But thing is, let's be honest. At the time, people were like,
yeah, I wouldn't like to, because I also stepped
Why?
back. I was like, Flava. I was like, really?
yeah, until found that you actually had a dope verse, and then you were like, okay, cool.
Yes.
Cool.
I actually heard the song for the first time at a performance that Questa had did at Zone 6. He was obviously pushing some of his own singles, and at that point, I think he had just recorded the song. And getting everybody to like vibe out, to be like, yo, okay, this is a brand new song. This is what you're gonna say after me. I was like, oh. And then Questa, what song is this now? I thought it was actually his single. So didn't you kind of also have that feeling where everybody was kind of taking that song away? They were like, no, it's not Sliqe song, it's Questa song.
In the beginning, and for most of the journey of that song, I had that, because he was pushing it as if it was his singles. The motive was like, okay, cool, look, I'm gonna push this song as hard as I can. I'm gonna push this song as hard as I can as well. We both need it, you know.
Yes.
So obviously he's an artist. He performs more. He connects to people more. So people, like, they thought it was his song, and because they didn't know who I was either.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
They were
Anyway,
like,
Questa, man,
Angelo.
we're Pulayo anyway, man. How, you know?
Because a lot of people don't necessarily think about the next plan when they're doing stuff. They always just like wing it, like, okay, let's do the next single. Okay, let's see how we do with this. You know what I mean? And obviously when people change their albums, or maybe let me say rappers and artists, when it comes to their second albums, it's like they're gonna kind of change their sound. Are you gonna do that as well with each volume?
So look, we DJs, we always know what's going
hot.
on.
Yes.
You know? So I doubt it will be a thing of changing the sound. Look, for me, I just go. There's two elements who always follow myself into music. It's vibe or rhythm. So it's either the song will have a vibe, or it'll have a rhythm. So I don't think we'll change that combination ever, especially for a DJ's perspective. We always have to keep it this side.
Yes.
You can't keep it too left field. You know, I can't go tomorrow now neo soul deep fully. You know.
That's why your whole album is just 10 up the whole time, because
Wow, Shikana is 10 up.
no, well,
Big Stars 10 up.
no, if you wanted to play
You haven't
Shikana and
listened,
just
you
have do a young.
said.
No, I actually have listened to your entire album. I can tell you what my favorite songs are. At the moment, I'm listening to a lot of Oceans. I like Flexing. I like Toxic and Spaces.
Yeah. But they're not all 10 up songs, okay?
I understand that, but I'm just
But they've got a vibe or rhythm.
Yes.
So yeah.
All right. But outside of that, I mean, like, being the first DJ, especially since a lot of DJs have been releasing music way before you, for you to be that first one to kind of bypass everybody, wasn't that like mind blowing?
Yes, it was. Just that, look, I'm not. I don't compare myself to anybody. I'm not running people's race.
No, it's not a comparison. It's more of a looking at the game and what you've done.
Yeah, it's cool, but I've only been here for quite like 2 years commercially. So for me, I love the growth, but I just think I could just do a couple of things a little bit more better. But you'll see.
Sitting with
You'll
Mr.
see.
Cool
You'll
here in the
see.
studio. I
You'll
don't know why you're acting like you're so coy. All right. Well, I've got some questions coming through from some of the Twitter fans. I've got Calvin Zetman here saying, DJ Sliqe, what is your favorite track on the album?
On it with Shikana.
Why that song?
The recording process was special.
Really?
So,
I remember
yeah.
you played that song for me when
We were still recording last year. What? Was this year? Early this year.
it was earlier this year, I think it was.
Yeah.
And you had played it for me when the song was done. I remember when We were in studio, remember, with Cypher?
Yeah.
Yes, and I heard it for the first time. I was like, "Ooh, this is a beautiful song." And then when I heard it on the album, I was like, "Oh wow, he actually like really like went for it."
You know,
It's a beautiful song.
Like the recording process was a bit of a journey, but yeah, it turned out pretty dope. And the thing is, when you see it and like when you're part of it, it becomes just so more emotional. So you become like emotionally attached to the song. So yeah, that's my favorite on the album.
Okay, I've got a question here from Tabang, who's saying, DJ Sliqe, how did you manage to afford all those features? I actually want to kind of, switch up his question and rather say, who was the most difficult to get on the feature? Come on.
It was AKA.
Of course. I don't even know why we're asking questions. But you got the feature.
But not. The thing is, to be quite honest, it wasn't really difficult to get any of the artists on this album. It was just a talking thing, you know. The conversations between myself and AKA and the team, they weren't that lengthy, so it wasn't that hard, but it was hard. Difficult, yeah.
Of course, because you have to go back and then say, hey man, okay, this is what I'm doing. Oh, this is how much I can afford. I got the racks though. Alright, so the album is out, Inja Yam Volume 1. And there's so many different features. I remember the first time I actually interviewed DJ Dimples when he had just dropped Zeal. So obviously he was the first DJ to kind of drop an album of that scope. And you're now coming through as well. Speechless did that as well. And I always find it like, with the features, you kind of have to bring a personal side of yourself in an album for people to kind of say, okay, fine, this is a DJ Sliqe sound. Was that easy for you to find? Because I find, obviously, because you're working with different artists, they bring their own personal touch to it. So how did you then make sure your personal touch was on the album?
So after the 3 singles, I decided, okay, cool, we're gonna do an album. I just kind of drew a list of all the artists on feature, paired in a song without a title of the song. Just okay, cool. Shikana, okay, she can sing. Can we mix it with this one? Blah blah blah. Just trying to create like a mood throughout the whole album. Yeah. And then I hit up Tweezy. We created all those beats for those artists. They didn't know at the time. And then we sent the artists the beat. And luckily, they all accepted the beat that we gave them. It wasn't a thing of. Because things, when we conceptualized the beat, we made sure that it suits the rapper's kind of style. Yes. Or the way, or what they really love, but really scared to release. For some artists, sometimes don't want to release a song. Let's say Big Stuff, for example. Yes. He won't release a song where he's singing because he wants to commercialize the sound. So he'd rather go for something that's more hip-hop friendly. Yeah. Okay. So with my album, it was kind of like, let's risk together. Yeah. So it must have been such a hectic journey, but nonetheless, I mean, people are starting to realize like the music is real. You're trying to do this thing. How long have you been in DJing? Because actually, like I said, I only heard of you once the song came out. My nice book at VSS, Liquid Shifts.
Really?
Yes. Through SK, you came through SK.
No, you see, so if you're coming through somebody else, obviously I don't know.
But it's my part. Okay, just say you're too cool to recognize. But anyway, it's
cool. I mean, if you're running game, am I supposed to know the little guy?
But I was okay. It was fun. SK was a little man. But anyway,
yes.
It's fun.
Continue. How long have you been DJing?
Before the song, maybe 2 years. I used to DJ at Smallville, 7th Avenue, at Transkai, Social Bar. I used to take chances. I used to play at SWAT parties, no domino, right? I used to throw like 4 high school parties back then. I used to play at those. I actually went there with the mix pre-recorded and you caught me and then you told me, yo, I need to get off the decks right now.
Exactly. You can't be paying somebody who's going to be playing a pre-mix. I mean, really.
I didn't know any better at the time. I mean, I was still in first year.
You didn't know any better?
I was in first year and I was scared. It was my first gig.
Sure. I know. We're still gonna get into a little bit more of DJ Sliqe taking chances. Still gotta get to our number 1 track of the local top 5, but first we're gonna kind of wrap it up with DJ Sliqe. Inja Yam too, who's in the building. Alright, so Sliqe, in your words, what do you think the true role of a DJ is in hip hop?
To try and pioneer. Well, look, to try cater for what's not being catered for enough in the hip hop.
What's not being catered for? What do you think is missing?
Okay, look. Firstly, I think before this year we didn't have enough music coming out. It would be like a single a year, or an album a year, you know. Whereas if you look at Ty Dolla, he dropped an album at the beginning of the year. He dropped he dropped another album like maybe a month ago. So it's 2 albums in 1 year because they consume so much outside in the States. I'm not comparing, but we also need to get to a level where we release a lot of music. So I think DJs can help because all those, if not in album mode, you can be making other music, you know, for
like
to
features.
enjoy. Exactly. You know?
Right.
So I think that's our role, just to try fill up the space, make sure that we get used to this music consumption thing.
And now that DJs are releasing music and you releasing an album, do you not think that's kind of over flooding the market? Or well, you're saying there's not enough music, but to a point where maybe say some of the fans are sitting back and they're like, okay, fine, I really like AKA, but I don't know if I like him on this feature or whatever. Do you think it's kind of confusing the consumer?
Not really, because everyone has their preference, you know, and their taste of music. So if someone listens to trap only, they will only listen to artists who kind of, you know, make trap music. So I just think it's time for us to segment the hip hop industry that we have, because before it was just a thing of, okay, cool, it's a local song, yay, support local, you know. So now our trap scene in local hip hop has to be big. Our Kwaito scene in hip hop has to be big. If there's a trap soul, there is trap soul, like people like Gemini. Not Gemini, sorry, Tsuhu
and Clyde now.
Clyde.com, all those people, you know what I'm saying? So each has to have its own set of fans, and we have to grow it to a point where each can support itself, type of thing, without it just being, support local. It's nice.
Alright, before we wrap up, I've completely forgotten to ask you this a little bit earlier. Who's the one artist who's not on the album that you really wanted to get?
Saudi Java MT.
Really? So you just want an ambitious album? Just go there and sign a contract, or
I want them for specific songs, but
just say, hey, ambitious, can you sign me up? That's what you're saying. I'm joking. I'm kidding. Well, the time will come. I mean, there's always time to go back into studio and to record a little bit more and give us more music, because now that we have the album, we still want to hear what else is next and whatever's fresh. So keep on keeping on. And where else can people get in touch with you, social media and so forth?
It's at Sliqe for everything. Facebook, Twitter.
Sliqe without the U, ne?
Yeah, Sliqe
Doesn't that
without
annoy
the
you?
U. SLIQE, please. It annoys me, but I mean, we'll get there.
Yes, you'll get there.
If it's just a belief, I'm a get it. I'm a licking this stuff, I'm a summer. Buenos dias. Hey, don't say my name unless you buy it. Hey, run up on me if you doubt it. Hey, been rocking Gucci since a young. Hey, they nothing to me, ask about it. Hey, no a drug dealer in a Prius. Hey, eco-friendly with the business. Hey, low key, a